Someone just interrupted you. Again. And instead of saying something, you smiled. You actually smiled. Like your brain just glitched and decided that being a human doormat was the polite thing to do. And now you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. replaying the whole thing like it's some psychological thriller you can't turn off. Now, let's talk about respect. Not the kind where people fear you or think you're some corporate robot. The real kind. The kind where people actually listen when you speak and don't treat your boundaries like they're gentle suggestions at a buffet. Here's the thing. Most of us learned that being nice equals being liked, and being liked equals being respected. Except that math, completely wrong. You can be the nicest person in the room and still have people treat you like a red carpet, applauding them as they walk all over you. So, what actually makes people respect you? Ready for this? It's shockingly simple. You stop performing. I know, that sounds like one of those vague self help things that your aunt posts on Facebook. But stay with me, because here's what performing looks like. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with opinions you find ridiculous. You say yes when your entire body is screaming no. You apologize for existing in a space. You make yourself smaller so other people feel bigger. And the ironic part, you think you're being polite. You think you're being considerate. But what you're actually doing is teaching people that your opinions are negotiable, that your time is flexible, that your boundaries are more like friendly suggestions written in disappearing ink. Psychologists call this people-pleasing behavior. And it's basically a one-way ticket to resentment city. Population, you. Because every time you override your own needs to make someone else comfortable, you're sending a message. And that message is not I'm kind. It's I don't value myself. So you don't have to either. Here's where it gets interesting. The people who respect you the most, they're not the ones you bent over backwards for. They're the ones you set boundaries with, the ones you disagreed with, the ones who saw you stand firm and went, okay, I see you. So what does this look like in real life? Your coworker asks you to cover their shift, again, for the fourth time this month, and you really don't want to. You have plans. Even if those plans are sitting on your couch, eating cereal and watching true crime documentaries. Old you? Oh, sure, no problem. While internally screaming. New you? I can't this time. Full stop. No essay, no explanation about your serial and murder show lineup. Just a simple boundary. And here's what happens next. Your coworker might be surprised. They might even be annoyed. But you know what they won't do? Ask you again next week. Because you just showed them that your time has value. And people respect what has value. But it goes deeper than just saying no. Real respect comes from being authentic. And authenticity is terrifying. Because it means showing up as yourself. Not the version of you that you think people want. The actual you, with your weird opinions and your preferences and your boundaries that might inconvenience someone. There's this thing called the Ben Franklin effect. Sounds fancy, right? Basically, it says people respect you more when you ask them for favors, not when you do favors for them. Because when you ask someone for help, you're showing them you value their skills. You're treating them like an equal. So stop over-explaining. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop making yourself smaller. Because every time you do that, you're training people to see you as someone whose needs come last. And I'm not saying become some cold robot who says no to everything. I'm saying be selective. Say yes when you mean yes. Say no when you mean no. And watch how fast the energy shifts. Because here's the truth. The people who get mad at you for setting boundaries, they're the ones who benefited from you not having any. They're upset because the free ride is over. And honestly, let them be upset. That's not your circus. Those aren't your monkeys. Real respect isn't earned by being accommodating. It's earned by being consistent. By showing people that what you say you mean. That your boundaries are real. That your time is valuable. And the best part? When you stop performing, you attract different people. The kind who respects you without you having to earn it. The kind who doesn't see boundaries as obstacles, but as signs of a person who knows their worth. So here's your homework. And yes, I'm calling it homework because we're all still learning this. Next time someone asks something of you that you don't want to do, pause. Don't immediately smile and agree. And if the answer is no, say that. Just no. If this reminded you to choose yourself a little more, tap that like button as a small step toward honoring what you actually feel. Subscribe to the channel for more psychology that gently calls out all the ways we sabotage ourselves while trying to be nice. And drop a comment with the last thing you said yes to when you really meant no. I want to hear your stories. See you next week with another deep dive into why we're all out here making life harder than it needs to be.